The ultimate comfort system from Lennox delivers consistently perfect air. So the only way your air feels is how you want it to feel. Maybe it's time to rethink your air with the ultimate comfort system.
You may be surprised to find out what your heating and cooling system can really do. The air quality inside your home is more important today than ever, and the experts at HVAC Services are here to help. Cleaner air is closer than it's ever been. Contact us at hvacservices.com.
I'm Trevent Hayes. I'm 45 years old. Currently I live here in Glasgow. I was born in Louisville, but I was raised in Cave City, just a few miles up the road. Went to Caverna High School, went to Caverna through my whole educational career per se. I went to Caverna Elementary, then I went to Caverna High School. Then I went to Union College on a football scholarship, played football in college, transferred to Sue Bennett College in London, Kentucky. Very, very different. Eastern Kentucky was very different from, what I was used to. But I had so many jobs. I really never had my niche. I've coached, I've sold cars, I've done just about everything. I worked in the restaurant business. But I think in 2001, I moved back to Cave City, went back to work at Caverna, coached, and eventually went back to selling cars, and then decided that I wanted to get into the funeral business. So that's got in the funeral business in 2009. So that's where I'm at today.
It seemed like a natural fortune that Trevent would find his way back into the funeral business. In fact, his uncle was in the funeral business and had part ownership in the funeral home that he now owns today.
Well, my uncle's been in the funeral business for over 35 years. And, when I was a teenager, I'd go spend the weekends with him and, kind of do some stuff with him. Never really had an interest in it. Always found it to be intriguing. I always wondered, the behind the scenes of it. I never really saw the behind the scenes of what took place at his work. But then the older I got, I realized that I couldn't keep moving job to job. So I thought, well, what is something that I can do that's going to last and, that I could potentially do for the rest of my life and retire from? And why not give the funeral business a try? And I really feel like that this was my true calling.
And a true calling it was. Trevent takes a proactive role to promote diversity and inclusivity.
That's one of the things that I pride myself on, and it is what it is, but, we're in Barron County, and a lot of people consider Hayes Brothers the black funeral home. And I pride myself on being the funeral home. I am locally owned. I do everything here myself, and I'm trying to get away from that image of being the black funeral home. Of course, I support my community in everything, not only here at the funeral home, but there's a lot of things that we do that allows me to support my community. But I also want to, diversify Barron County, Glasgow in some way. I'm biracial. My father was Caucasian and my mother was African American, and so I don't really see color. But it really it's really interesting to me that, that a lot of people here in Barron County still call, my funeral home the black funeral home. That's just an image that I don't want to, keep per se. And I'm also the president of our Cave Area Branch NAACP. And one of the things that I've tried to do since serving as the president is to let individuals know that the NAACP is not just a black organization. And proudly I can say that here in Glasgow we have probably over 20 Caucasian members that's joined our NAACP, from business owners to lawyers, school teachers, and that's definitely something positive to look forward to get to that next step, is to see that, we can all work together regardless of what aspect that we're in.
It's his love for the community that built him, that he's inspired to give back to it, and it's his goal and mission to share with those around him his love and faith.
When I when I'm gone from here, when I die, it's not, I don't want to be known as a person that had money or didn't have money. I want to be known as a person that helped people. And, that's basically, that's what it is with me. I would rather give than to get. A lot of people say that's the way they are, but I truly mean that. I've went without, and I remember even in middle school, and like I was telling you, we were poor growing up. And in basketball, we would stop and eat after the games, and $5 in 1989 was a lot of money. And I would have money to eat, and there was a kid on my team that was, he was less fortunate than I was. And I remember that I gave him, my money so that he could eat, because I knew that when I got home that I could eat. But I didn't know if that kid could eat when he got home. And I just truly believe that as long as I treat people right and treat people fair, then I'll always be able to continue to do what I do for people.
And being courteous and what he would consider a true Christian began at an early age, and now Trevent carries that through in his adult life and into his profession, serving people every day as an exemplification of his faith.
Born into a Christian family, became a Christian when I was 11 years old, and I love the church. And I understand that God, He gives us, He ordains us to do things. And, with my religious background and understanding the Bible and understanding God, then I understand that He puts us in places for a reason. And, I get to minister to these families that's, going through the toughest times of their lives. Individuals that maybe have lost their life in an accident, car accident, or, just a drowning. I've had some individuals that's drowned, and, they needed somebody to be able to pack them through this. And I feel like that God put me in this position because, I have the ability to do that.
Time and time again, Trevent has faced trials and things that he didn't think he would make it out of. But again and again, he depends on his faith, and he carries that through each day, serving families in Glasgow and Barron County.
For anybody that's not there yet on what they want to do in life, you can't ever give up. I think it was when I moved back here, like I said, I've bounced around everywhere, but I had moved to Florida, and I tell my sister all the time, and it's nothing to her, she's my big sister, but when I moved back from Florida, literally moved, I got off the airplane with one duffel bag. That's it. I had no money. I was at a place in my life where I really just didn't have a clue. But it's very important to me that you never be ashamed or never forget where you came from, because I tell everybody, 3 bank payments and I'm right back there. So it's just important to me to never ever forget that, I came from nothing. And but when I got off that plane, and my sister saw me, and I remember she cried when she saw me. I guess, I looked a little rough. But I knew that that's not what God had for me. And, I'm not saying that I'm a good person now, but I've not always done the right things. And I knew that, I was as low as I could go. And, but I never left my faith in God. Although, we leave God, God never leaves us, regardless of what we do. But I just, refocused my faith on Him and allowed Him to guide my steps instead of me guiding my own steps. And so it worked out for the greater good.
This is Trevent Hayes. And this has been Meet My Neighbor.